Hi, it's Jo Gannon, and here's my presentation. And for the sake of time, I'll be whizzing through a lot of the PowerPoints, which can be accessed later. The majority of my work will be done through cartoons. Here is the license. I have an education license to use all the cartoons that I use. Constructivism can look like this, can look like this, can look like this. Don't even know what that means. Can even look like this. Can feel like this, and it certainly has a pyramid of needs like this. But I'm looking at it with this approach. The constructivist approach takes organizations of the fact that by the time a learner enters formal education, he/she has already interacted with the former environment and has developed ideas and concepts in relation to what he has experienced. So with that in mind, in this postmodernist world, which all these things on this thing come into play with our young people, does hip hop count as a second language? Now that's a valid question if you've lived in urban areas. So you really need to develop a philosophy of teaching. And why do we need to develop this, and how can we develop this? Through module learning and teaching online, or, as I like to say, powerful learning does not occur by accident. It is usually the result of an effective learning situation created by a skillful teacher. So it's reveal, listen, understand. And I always like to bring compassion and caring into it because, like this little boy, got any caring parents? That's what some kids come to school for, a sense of belonging and, a sense of connection. Now I'm looking at interactive graphics, tweeting and webinars, and I will be showing some videos and I'll be keeping an eye on the time as well. So the Australian curriculum gives you the capacity to use these interactive things, but here is a teacher who is actually going to give us a quick understanding of what she does when she uses her ICT for powerful pedagogy.
The ICT is just another part or resource of my teaching. It's not everything in my classroom, so I only use it when it's appropriate and when I think it's going to be the most powerful thing for the students' learning. If you bring in technology and you use it appropriately, what's going to happen is through one task, you will get so much deeper understanding happening because the kids are being pushed into a situation where they're going to think about their mathematics, they're going to manipulate their mathematics in order for it to get this task to actually work. They are going to talk about it with their next door neighbours, so they're going to have to be able to justify why they've decided in this particular.
Okay, so, and that does go on for a little bit longer, but for the sake of time, I'm moving on. So we know, as if you look at this cartoon, kids are already into technology. The reason why they do it is because it's fun, it brings them joy. And quite frankly, as this cartoon shows, it helps them not fall asleep in class. It helps to keep them engaged, etc. And as this illustration says, it's not a dumbing down to use it, it's a dumbing up to use technology. Now, this is one of the ICT graphics that I've found online that is interactive. It's called Maths for Fun. I'm not a maths teacher, but I certainly appreciate these visuals, and all the menus down the side there give you dictionaries, and it goes deeper and deeper and deeper as you go into it, and it looks like a lot of fun, and I enjoyed every moment of being on this, and it's a great tool for youngsters to learn how to do maths. That brings up all the complex dimensions, etc., etc., etc. That was a lot of fun. But the other thing that teachers are using now, especially in English, is in this years 9 and 10, in the package, what we have is ICT in teaching English and Shakespeare using Twitter. And there are the details there. Here is an action clip of the woman teaching in the Twitter sphere, and here is one of the contents and why she does it, and giving you all the curriculum that you needed to reflect back onto the Australian curriculum. But there's also a lesson plan. It's called Tweeting Shakespeare. So basically they tweet everything about Shakespeare. They not dumb it down, but they give it a new language in the Twitter sphere. Now, here's a video here, just bringing about one particular issue about tweeting.
Responses to the soliloquies in A Midsummer Night's Dream. What we're going to do after we've done this activity is also look at the analysis done by the females in the class and the males in the class. So we're going to do a gender comparison also. We're going to compare tweets. So compare male tweets and female tweets.
So they're comparing male and female tweets, and that gives it a different layer of social interaction in the world of Twittersphere using good English Shakespeare. And it demonstrates a lot of knowledge and understanding, a lot of technology, and it gets them engaged and thinking about tweeting beyond their everyday life. The next thing that I'm looking at is gaming. Now, this particular video is about a game called The Lost Summer, and it's put out by the Commissioner, and it's an e-safety tool for young teenagers.
We know that students love video games. Straight away when you say you're going to play the game, the kids are already engaged, they know what they're going to walk into.
It taught me lots of things about respect on social media. I learned that if you don't like a comment, you can just block it using it. I actually like the way the game looks. The characters look really appealing. I really like the phone that you can interact with. It's bright, it's vibrant.
The graphics were amazing, the AIs too.
Is what they're doing outside of the classroom, so to bring some of those things they like in the classroom, for our students respond really well.
We like the Lost Summer!
So here you have The Lost Summer. It's an e-safety video put out by the Department of Education, and as you can see, they're loving it. The classrooms love it, bearing in mind that third world countries miss out on all that stuff, but if they have access to the internet, then they can get to use it too. These are the recommended websites in relation to education psychology for learning and teaching. And also, if you want to go further into cyberspace, then you can go to those websites and that teaching. Now, I just wanted to say something about history, or as I would call it, our cultural competency in teaching and our heritage. And to do that, I've gone to New Zealand. So we're stealing this New Zealand initiative. It's called Technology Online. And it's basically a gentleman who's teaching a webinar on how to use digital technology to visit a museum. And it's a wonderful, wonderful resource. And one of the other reasons is...
Here. I just like to talk Christine against the slide up. And don't forget that if you've got any questions, you can just pop them in the chat at the bottom, and we will do our utmost to answer anything that you would like to know.
You can chat with the teacher.
So this is about clearing a pathway and showing respect for each other, and we're always very thankful for our presenters that come along and do these webinars for us and share what is going on in their world. And Tara's project is a very interesting one and an interesting way of using museums to teach digital technologies. So we'll just do our karakia, kia hora, te marino, kia whakapapa, punamu, te moa.
Okay, so the reason why I wanted to play that is because of the sensitivity around the Maori language, using the culture so the kids can identify. The website's actually in the Maori language as well, and it's a wonderful tool. And going back to that, next thing is resilience for the teachers. This is the modern school teacher. This is what she has to put up with. And if we didn't think we were going to change the world, we wouldn't be here doing this. Thank you.